Hi everyone, this is Miwa and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going into the world of watercolor ground, or some call watercolor gesso. This medium can truly transform your work. One important lesson I've learned in my artistic journey is that experimenting with different materials not only expands our toolkit, but also reveals what we genuinely love and what doesn't connect with our style. In this video, I'll share my experience with watercolor ground/gesso, including the lessons I picked up from Ali Cavanaugh that completely changed my approach. So let's get started. I had bought watercolor ground/gesso by Daniel Smith back in Singapore in 2021, but never knew how to use it correctly until I joined Ali Cavanaugh's Patreon community. For those unfamiliar, watercolor ground, also known as watercolor gesso, is a medium that allows you to create a watercolor-friendly surface on various materials. This makes it possible to paint with watercolors on surfaces that typically don't absorb watercolor paint, such as wood or canvas, or even on just normal cotton canvas that is typically used for oil painting or acrylic painting. I had an unfinished oil painting that I wasn't happy with, so I decided to cover it with watercolor ground using a palette knife. However, I wasn't very careful with the application and it ended up being uneven. While I waited for it to dry, I sketched some organic shapes to get my creative juices flowing. Unfortunately, when I painted on this uneven surface, I found that the watercolor didn't quite absorb well into the surface and it ended up damaging my brush due to the bumpy texture. After learning the correct techniques from Ali Cavanaugh, I decided to give it another try. This time I worked on a clean surface, a regular cotton painting panel. I layered the gesso thinly, allowing each layer to dry before adding the next. The key takeaway here was that layering is essential. However, this method didn't align with my painting style. I love working with lots of water and allowing the paint to flow intuitively rather than focusing on tight details and layering. In my exploration, I even experimented with Daniel Smith's watercolor ground and core watercolor gesso in a vertical strip to see how they compared. While it was fun doing this experiment, I realized that the tighter approach to watercolor painting just doesn't quite suit my expressive heavy water style. That being said, I'm open to the idea that I might find a way to integrate watercolor ground into my process in the future. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that evolves. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this exploration of watercolor ground and how it fits into my artistic process. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to follow my art journey as I continue to learn and experiment. I can't wait to share more videos with you, and I love to hear your thoughts. What do you feel about watercolor ground? Leave your comments below. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.